you a fundamental philosophic question. What do you think is the purpose of knowledge? Is it not effective action?
That's certainly one purpose.
So, does it make any sense to tell people, I want to teach you to this, to that, and the other, but I don't care whether you implement it or it's not important whether you implement it? Isn't the payoff of knowledge being able to act efficiently and effectively in your life to pursue your goals?
That's certainly one payoff, but it is not the only payoff. Another one is being able to make sense of the world around you.
Yeah, there's an intellectual joy of understanding.
Yes.
But that is not the fundamental reason to understand. The fundamental reason to understand is to act properly, right?
Except that the intellectual joy of understanding is what economists call a private good. That if I learn something and enjoy it as a result, I get the pleasure. Whereas
You're getting too much pleasure recently.
whereas improving the world is a public good. If I improve the world, I share it with everybody else. And public goods are very badly underproduced due to the fact that there's an inadequate incentive to produce them.
Okay, here's a question. So all these young anarchists that are out there trying to persuade people so that they vote for candidates to change the system or to vote out the constitutional legal system we have and implement anarchism are fools, right? Because if they're doing it for that reason, if they're enthusiastic about anarchism for the reason that they want to, in fact, change society and make it an anarchist society through a legal process instead of an armed revolution, that's foolish in your view, right?
No. If the way they expect to change it is to elect people who agree with them, that is probably not a sensible activity. If the way they expect to change it is to change the pattern of free information that affects people both in voting and many other things, if they want to spread ideas so that instead of people taking it for granted, the solution to this is for the government to do something, people say, well, maybe the solution is the government to stop doing something. Maybe there's some other solution. The more people think that way. Look, if the libertarian...
But you have to change the law, right, in order to do that, right?
But you don't have to change the law by electing people who agree with you. If the Libertarian Party really succeeds in persuading the mass of the population that certain changes are good, the Republicans and the Democrats will take over those ideas because they'll get them votes. Look, how did the Socialist Party win?
Okay.
The Socialist Party won in the U.S. without getting... They got elected, I think, mayor of Milwaukee once or twice. But basically, the Socialist Party won because a whole bunch of what were its policies in the beginning of the 20th century were everybody's policies by the end of the 20th century. So you change the climate of opinion not as a matter of getting your people elected, but as a matter of changing what are the views of the people who do get elected end up pushing.
Quick question. Would you like to have anarchism right now?
That's very tricky. I would like to have the fully developed system of anarchy with its institutions right now, but you wouldn't get that right now if the government vanished tomorrow.
Right, so if you could snap your fingers and have anarchism, you wouldn't do it.
You have to define anarchism. If I could
Anarchism, no government. Eliminate all the government. And just to have voluntary relations and let it happen the way it would.
You're being much,
what do they call that? Spontaneous relations?
You're being much too simplistic. You can imagine a whole lot of different worlds without government, some of which are attractive and some of which are not. And so what I am in favor of is a world without government and with a set of other institutions which provide those useful things government provides, but do it in a non-governmental fashion. So I'm in favor of that, but I don't believe that would appear instantly if you snapped your fingers.
Right. So if you had the choice, then you could have anarchism right now.
Democracy?
You mean a popular democracy?
Democracy. You use the word anarchism. I'm using it equally vaguely of democracy. If you could snap your fingers.
I thought that anarchism was clear. We defined it when we had to debate it. A society that doesn't have a government.
But that covers a lot of possible societies. Just
right.
as democracy covers a lot of possible societies.
Right, but I believe in limited government and a constitutional republic, but so I guess not in a popular democracy. So
in all possible situations, if you could snap your fingers and turn Rome in 100 BC into that, or Rome...
if I could snap my fingers and have a limited government right now, I'd do it.
I don't know.
So,
I don't even know what you mean by limited government. What institutions do you assume are going to limit the government?
Okay, well,
You
you're
have
going to interview
constitution-
me for a while. It's okay,
Might
but
be worth doing, yeah.
but here,
Because-
I only
your
have a couple of
system- Your
minutes.
system has the same problem.
I'm
that
going to
mine
run out
has.
of time, and I want to get your
Okay.
views on the stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that I was right, that you don't want it immediately. You want certain institutions to develop,
Correct.
and then have anarchism. And an interesting difference of your perspective and Jeffrey Tucker's perspective, for example, is he has no idea how anarchism will be. He wants it now, but he doesn't know how it's going to be, and he doesn't put forth any systems or situations that he thinks would be probable, like having security agencies or arbitration courts or anything.